Turn heads and bring the hype with a custom hype chain from Lotwin. Perfect for youth sports, fantasy football, or just flexing your pride. Go to Lotwin.com, use the promo code TCCPOD for 10% off your order. That's Lotwin.com, promo code TCCPOD for 10% off. Get your custom hype chain and get hype with Lotwin. What's up, everyone? Welcome to this day in Philly sports history for June 1st, 2025. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery. Yes, we're in June. Yes, it is Tuesday. That means it's time for a little motivation / positivity. And as always, Tuesday motivation / positivity is brought to you by Clashing Conferences. We at This Day in Philly Sports History are proud to be a part of the Clashing Conferences Sports Fan Network. Go to clashingconferences.com for details on how you can join, get involved, and what all they have to offer you. All right, this one, not really a theme or anything that we're doing here, but I love this quote. It's credited to many different people, but I really like this one, and it's simple. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And I like this. And essentially, this quote is telling you to be consistently prepared for any type of situations. Now, this isn't saying go get your doomsday kit and sit in a bunker or anything like that. But be proactive when it comes to things on your agenda, things that you see coming down the pike. Get ahead of situations. Be prepared. Know that we talked a couple months ago about things are never as good as you think they are, but they're also never as bad. But be prepared for both ends of the spectrum. That way, when situations come up, you are good. And what this does, we have a lot of stress in our lives. For whatever reason, the way things have evolved, it's a lot different than what it was 30, 40 years ago. But by being prepared, you're helping to eliminate some of that stress in your life. It keeps you prepared for when things pop up. And this is allowing you then to maximize and seize the opportunities that come your way. I talked a couple weeks ago about the guy at the Lehigh University open house that told me luck doesn't exist. You create your own luck. Being prepared. And this is sort of an extension of that. But be ready to maximize all the opportunities that come to you on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And this can apply in any situation, whether it's sports, whether you're training for something, whether or not you're looking for a new job, up for a promotion, starting a workout plan, trying to lose weight, be a better parent, be a better spouse, be just a better person in general. This applies to all that. Just be ready so you don't have to get ready and waste that time. You're maximizing your time. You're able to better take advantage of it, and it helps with your mental state. And that's where it all starts. Be prepared for all possible outcomes. Be ready for whatever life is going to throw at you. Sure, there are going to be curveballs that you're not expecting, but if you are mentally ready, if you are mentally prepared, you don't have to get ready for the situation because you're ready to go. You're like, all right, I accounted for this, I planned for this, and go after it and deal with it and take it head on. And truthfully, when it comes to what you want in your life, identify what you want, go get it, go get ready as you go through your week. All right, shorter week this week, but remember, hopefully you can take this as you go through your week. But if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And again, that's attributed to a lot of different people, but I like this. Just be prepared, be ready. Because when opportunity knocks, you can answer the door and be ready to just run with it. And that is this week's Tuesday motivation / positivity, brought to you as always by the Clashing Conferences podcast, Clashing Conferences Sports Fan Network. Check out their podcast as well. New episodes drop Thursday and Friday, and then go to theclashingconferences.com. All right, we're going to start off with a different story than what you probably think. We'll get to the Phillies here in a minute, but big news came out yesterday morning. Philadelphia is getting a WNBA team, and to paraphrase and quote, I think it was LeBron James, it's about damn time. I'm excited. The WNBA is coming to Philly in 2030. They will be owned by the Sixers ownership group. Not necessarily the best, but maybe he'll treat it differently since it's the WNBA. They will play it wherever the new arena is going to be named. But a little tidbit came out on that. They were saying they told the city 2031 that stadium is going to be open. They said there's a possibility that it will be open for 2030, so we'll have to see. But in general, WNBA coming to Philly, I love this. I think it's a great situation, a great opportunity. And as a girl dad, I love this, especially since we're already gearing up 3-on-3 basketball for both kids, but especially my daughter, who really got into it last year. Being able to see people that look like her now on a professional level in the region that she lives in is outstanding. Like I said, I love this. I think they are going to be successful. No word yet on what the name is going to be, but the WNBA is coming to Philly, and I, for one, am ecstatic about it. I think this is a great thing for the city. A lot of the non-4 major sports teams, if you want to call them fringe sports, secondary sports, which to me, calling the WNBA secondary is somewhat disrespectful. But whatever you want to call these non-4 major sports, Philly seems to do well with, whether it's the Kicks, the Union, the Soul when they were here, the Wings. So there's no doubt in my mind that the WNBA is going to do well in Philly. I'm looking forward to it. I plan on taking Ella, the whole family actually, down to these games. But WNBA coming to Philly, I'm pumped. Let me know your thoughts on that. How are you feeling about the WNBA coming to Philly? All right, now let's get to the Phillies. Fireworks night at Citizens Bank Park last night, and Zack Wheeler provided a nice little opening pregame show. Went 8 scoreless innings, struck out 10, and this dude is just 100% underappreciated. We always talk about Jalen Hurts being underappreciated. I always go back to Ryan Howard. I go back to Donovan McNabb. But man, what Zack Wheeler has been able to do consistently since he's been in Philly is nothing short of spectacular. And he just does it in a way. He goes out there, minds his business, puts his head down, and gets to work. And I think we need to start appreciating this dude. And hopefully Major League Baseball, I forget who the manager of the All-Star team is, but hopefully he'll do the right thing and let Zack Wheeler start the All-Star game in his hometown of Atlanta. I think he's earned it. He's finished second a few years here in a row in the Cy Young, making a strong push now. It's basically going to be a 2-dog race between him and Paul Skeens for this year. But man, this dude is just outstanding. The offense did just enough. A little bit of the long ball, a little bit of small ball. Looks like JT is starting to bounce back and hit well. Bryce returned to the lineup, didn't get any hits, but did walk and was hit by a pitch on his foot. But overall, solid win. And here we are into this gauntlet. If you want to go back to the Mets, the Phillies have won 2 of the 3 series they've played in on this quote-unquote gauntlet. If you take the Mets series out and just do Houston and Atlanta, and what's coming up, they're 4-4. And I can't figure out this team. I really, really can't. They have the 4th best record in the league. I think what we just need to do is accept that they're flawed, learn from what we saw and witnessed with the Eagles in 2023, and know that they're not a perfect team. They might sometimes win with smoke and mirrors, but the bottom line is, and in baseball more so than any other sport, if you win, you win. And they have no qualms about winning ugly. They have no qualms about making it interesting. But it's July 1st. The Phillies are 2 games up into first place. And I think we've somewhat been spoiled here because of the success they've had the past few years in the postseason or getting to the postseason. Listen, if you're my age, you know, other than 93, there was about a 20-year, 30-year window where the Phillies were absolutely terrible. And by this point in the season, they're 20-some games out of first place. Enjoy it. I mean, don't live and die with every game. Don't eagle-fy it. But, man, this team, they might not be the funnest to watch, but yesterday was fun. Zack Wheeler put on a clinic. They're back at it tonight. Christopher Sanchez takes on our old pal Nick Pivetta down at Citizens Bank Park. Your Phillies are the fourth best team in the league. Just roll with it, baby. Just roll with it. All right, yesterday's trivia question. I asked you, who is the only player, not only in Major League Baseball history, but Phillies history, to play all 9 positions for the team? And that would be one Cookie Rojas. Cookie came in to pitch in 1967 on June 30th against the Giants, allowing him to play all 9 positions during a game, all while playing for the Phillies. One of a handful of players to play all 9 positions in a game. But Cookie Rojas is yesterday's trivia question answer. All right, let's knock out some housekeeping. As always, be sure to follow me on social media, Jimbo_Mott on Twitter and TikTok. On Instagram, at Philly Jimbo. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Jimbo_Mott. Continue to spread the word. I keep saying, if you're liking this, obviously somebody in your social network will as well. So just spread the word as we grow this thing. It's summertime. People are taking trips to the beach, long drives. Gives them something to listen to for a little bit. And 95% of the time, it's clean that you can have your kids listen to. Maybe they'll learn something. If you want to see highlights, be sure to check out any of my social media, including my Facebook and LinkedIn. The Discord channel is live, so go to that. First link in the description. Come over. Let's have some good Philly sports talk. And as something I always strive to do, make sure the information I provide to you is factually correct. Yesterday, as I was listening back, I inadvertently, and I'm not sure, thinking back now, if I actually said the real name, but I said the first Philly to appear as a DH in a non-spring training game. I inadvertently said Greg Gross, who was a pinch hitter, not a designated hitter. The first DH was Greg Luzinski, the Bull, was the DH for the Phillies in Game 1 of the 1980 World Series. So just wanted to make sure that was clear. Want to show off your Philly pride without saying a word? Philly Goat has you covered. From tees, hoodies, shoes, and hats, their gear screams Philly louder than an Eagles fan at the vet. Whether you're tailgating in South Philly or trying to flex down the Jersey Shore, do it in style. Hit up phillygoat.com, use the promo code Jim Montgomery, and get 10% off your order. Philly Goat, because being Philly ain't a choice, it's a way of life. Go Birds! All right, July 1st. Old school Phillies day today. We're going to hop in the way back machine here on July 1st. And first, we're going to go back to 1931. And on this day in 1931, Chuck Klein hit for the cycle, going 4 for 5 with 5 RBI and an 11-6 win over the Cubs at the Baker Bowl. Now, what makes this cycle different than others? This game also featured a triple play. So it's rare to see somebody hit for the cycle. It's even rarer to see, or actually, I don't know the numbers for sure, so I shouldn't say that. But it's rare to see a triple play. It's rare to see somebody hit for the cycle. How rare is it to see it in the same game? Well, when Chuck Klein did it in 1931, it was the first time it had ever happened in Major League Baseball history. And it's only happened one other time since then, and that would be in 1996 when John Valentin of the Red Sox hit for the cycle and the Red Sox completed a triple play against the White Sox. So, 1931, Chuck Klein hit for the cycle in a game in which the Phillies turned a triple play at the Baker Bowl. 7 years to the day, in 1938, the Phillies officially moved out of the Baker Bowl due to it just being an old stadium, falling apart, not necessarily safe. They called up their old pal, crosstown rival, Connie Mack, and said, hey, can we move in to Shibe Park? Connie Mack agreed. So from 1938 until the A's left in 1954, the A's and the Phillies shared Shibe Park. But it was all about Chuck Klein and a triple play on this day in 1931. And then fast forward 20 years later, in 1951, the Phillies pitched a one-hitter against the Dodgers. Russ Meyer and Jim Constantine walked 3, only gave up 1 hit. However, that hit was a 2-out, 2-run triple to Pee Wee Reese in the 3rd. Phillies lose the game 2-0, managed 7 hits themselves. Kind of reminiscent of our own Phillies here, specifically during that Houston series where great pitching, can't score any runs. But in 1951, Russ Meyer and Jim Constantine one-hit the Dodgers, but lost 2-0 because that one hit was a 2-run triple. All right, that does lead us to today's trivia question, though. And Chuck Klein on this day hit for the cycle. He hit for the cycle 2 times during his Phillies career. Overall, Philly players have hit for the cycle 10 times. Chuck Klein did it twice. Who are the other 8 to hit for the cycle? Hit me up on the Back to the Future voice and text line 267-495-8531. That'll get you into the Back to the Future voice and text line. Get this. Anything else Philly sports related off your chest? Want to talk at WNBA? Let's do it. Want to talk about the Phillies? What they should do at the trade deadline? Sixers, Flyers, everything is fair game. But who are the other 8 players in Phillies history to hit for the cycle? You all should know one if you're a loyal listener because we talked about him yesterday. All right, and then finally today, our greatest individual season in Philly sports history tournament rolls on. Yesterday, we had an Eagles matchup. We had the number 1 seed, Saquon Barkley from 2024, taking on the 8 seed, Terrell Owens from 2004. And it was Saquon. No real surprise here. Saquon running away with it with 78% of the vote. He will move on. All right, today we enter the Phillies region, and we're in the second half of the second round. So the winner of this will take on Roy Halladay from 2010. And we have our number 1 seed here from the Phillies region, Mike Schmidt from 1980. He was an MVP, Gold Glover, All-Star, hit .286, had career high with 48 homers, 121 RBIs, slugged .624, had a 1.004 OPS, 25 doubles, 8 triples for Schmidt in 1980. You heard that right, 8. And then we all know how that season worked out. Helped lead the Phillies to their first ever World Series title, hit .289 with 2 homers and 8 RBI in the World Series en route to the MVP, had some clutch hits in the NLCS against the Astros, but more importantly, Schmidt helped lead the Phillies to their first ever World Series championship, winning the MVP of both the World Series and the National League in 1980. He takes on the number 8 seed Dick Allen from 1966. In 1966, Dick Allen hit .317, 40 homers, 110 RBI, 25 doubles himself, added 10 triples, was an all-star, finished 4th in the MVP, slugged .632, had a 1.027 OPS. Phillies finished in 4th place in the National League that year, going 87-75. Now it's your turn. Whose season was better? Mike Schmidt in 1980, Dick Allen in 1966. Get your votes in. No doubt you know where I'm going with this one. Schmitty all day. But who do you got? Dick Allen in 1966, Mike Schmidt in 1980. Whose season was better? Let me know your vote. And just want to give a quick shout out to our friends over at Beach Caddy. If you're going down to the Jersey Shore, let Beach Caddy take the stress out of it. Have them help with move in, move out, beach cart rental. Telling you, best beach carts at the Jersey Shore. Go to beachcaddy.app for details and use the promo code Jimbo to take 10% off your beach or your bellhop service as well as your beach cart rental. On this day in 1951, Phillies hit the Dodgers, but lost 2-0 because that one hit was a 2-run triple. They officially moved out of the Baker Bowl in 1938, and Chuck Klein hit for the cycle on this day in 1931 in a game where the Phillies turned a triple play. So rare that it's happened in all the 100-plus years of Major League Baseball. It's only happened in a game twice. Be sure to let me know, other than Chuck Klein, who are the other 8 Phillies to hit for the cycle? That is today's trivia question. We'll have more on the WNBA as we get more details. More on the Phillies Padres. If we have any Sixers or Flyers news as free agencies is starting to get underway, we'll bring that to you as well. But remember, it's Tuesday, time for a little motivation. And if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Go seize your week. Be productive. It's a short week out there. Be safe over the next few days, no matter what you do. But if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. This has been This Day in Philly Sports History for July 1st, 2025. My name is Jim Montgomery. Go have yourselves a Tuesday. And until next time, I'll see you when I see you.